another job someplace else.
Hola, hola,
Hola.
hola, queridos amigos, buenos días. Gracias por estar con nosotros en este su programa Café con Leche, la voz de los latinos en América. Estamos transmitiendo desde hermosa 1470 AM y 96.9 FM. También estamos en YouTube. Les habla Lilia Galindo, me acompaña Michael Dutton y aquí en los controles nos acompaña Denise. Michael, estamos hablando hace ratito de las audiencias que se están dando para el 6 de junio y cómo se está mostrando lo que muchos de nosotros ya sabíamos, pero ahora pues con clara evidencia para la gente que no está convencida, que no quería oír nada. Y lo que sorprende a muchos de nosotros es el número de personas que estaban participando del partido republicano, del número de personas que estaban participando, pero hay muchos también del partido republicano que no son cómplices, ¿no? Pero que tampoco han hablado para expresar su inconformidad. Do you know, I believe that many of the people who is involved in this kind of issues or that has tolerated this kind of issues, they are more interested in keeping the job and the salary that in the country, in the constitution and all the values that's supposed to be why we elect them there, no?
Well, yeah, and I think there's a strain of something else that's involved as well when you consider some of these groups of people that are also a part of this whole situation. There's a certain amount of elitism, a certain amount of racism, a certain amount of fascism, if you will, involved in the mindset of the followers. And so there's a whole conglomeration of negatively focused people that are not interested in the common good of the American country unless they're in charge.
Bueno, estamos platicando de cómo le digo que a mí lo que me sorprende o me ha sorprendido es cómo muchas personas del Partido Republicano que saben que se está haciendo cosas malas, pero no dicen nada. Le digo que para mí creo que han puesto mucho más interés en conservar su salario, o sea, que los vuelvan a elegir y que puedan seguir cobrando ese salario que en lo que es el partido, los principios del partido y también el ser representante del gobierno, ¿no? Donde se supone que buscas lo mejor para los ciudadanos. Pero Michael también señala otra situación, dice, bueno, es que no solamente son ese tipo de gente, también hay gente ahí que, bueno, pues ya saben, con racismo, con otra serie de ideologías que están en contra de lo que ha sido la política de los Estados Unidos. Entonces, es lo que tenemos que considerar también, sin duda alguna, va a continuar la lucha por muchos meses más. Y what is your pronostic for the future? What is going to happen to him after we know everything and what do you think that is going to happen? Nothing.
Well, I'm not entirely sure because we're in a situation now that's sort of first time for America, and America as countries go is very young. I mean, we're not very old, and Italy's been around for thousands of years. China's been around for thousands of years. So it's quote unquote democracy was a great experiment, is a great experiment, and it's up to us to determine its longevity. And we have never been internally attacked like this before, so it's going to be difficult to see how it plays out. I have faith in our government. I have faith in our democracy, but I do see. I'm certainly aware that there are challenges out there, and some people who um, I, I I've heard it said a few times on TV. There are certain segments of our population who would, they'd rather be communists than Democrats, and how should I say? It wasn't exactly communist that they were talking about, but it was similar. It was kind of like they were of they are of the same mind as Vladimir Putin. And that's a very scary concept if you're a Ukrainian. because a lot of what Putin is doing in Russia is very similar to what was attempted here in the United States by I forgot his name,
Who?
Donald Trump.
Do you know, it's amazing that, do you know, in the past, everybody used to listen, Russia, oh, those are communists, we don't have any friendship with them.
Hmm.
It was like an aversion to that kind of countries, no? The communist countries. I know, oh
And
my God, it was something really, really bad. And now how people that is supporting the former president is changing their mind to Russia because he was a friend with Donald Trump only because of that.
yeah, they well, there was um, a lot of things going on early on in the administration. I remember that our president went to Russia a couple of times and was engaged in conversations with Vladimir Putin. And as a part of that process, he forced our interpreter to leave the room so nobody could know what was being said. Who knows what they were saying? Who knows what they were plotting and scheming, or what depth it was? I have no idea. But I do know that some of Putin's concerns relative to his country and its expansion was connected because remember it was the president of Ukraine that was being held hostage, and um, that was being dealt with by our president in a conflict between having to do with weapons in a conflict between Russia and Ukraine way back then.
Bueno, estamos hablando, amigos, de cómo en el pasado, cuando algún americano oía acerca de Rusia o de la Unión Soviética, era una fobia de decir, ay, no, los comunistas, ay, no, qué horror, nunca, jamás. Y era un país totalmente adversario a los intereses o a lo que pensaba la mayor parte de los pobladores en los Estados Unidos. Sin embargo, cuando el presidente Trump se convirtió en presidente, él empezó a hacer una alianza con Rusia, con Vladimir Putin, se llevaban muy bien, tenían incluso conversaciones donde se removía el traductor americano para que no hubiera récord de lo que se decía, ¿no? Nunca sabemos qué se decía, pero pues obviamente se estableció ese vínculo tan importante entre ellos y cómo la gente en general empezó entonces a cambiar su mentalidad acerca de Rusia, casi aceptándolos y todos. Y bueno, estábamos hablando todas las, las estrategias o las agresiones que el presidente Trump permitía a Rusia con Ucrania y todo eso, ¿no? Se le daba mucha flexibilidad y había intentos de incluso sabotear para que a nivel político desprestigiaran al candidato Biden. Unas tantísimas cosas que han pasado. And do you know what is so sad is that people who is so upset that was making the group of Mr. Trump,
Hmm.
they are the people in rural areas with less formal education, and 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 then they forgot that they come also, they are immigrants, everybody's immigrant in this country. And now that kind of the theory of replacement, they replace so many people. Do you remember?
Hmm.
many a big part of the United States was part of Mexico before, and they replace us there and we don't say anything. And it's funny that now they forget everything about history, they forget everything about everything, and they just want to be the only ones when
Well,
they.
you're assuming they learned it if you're saying they forgot it.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, but do you know, because sometimes we have had that conversation
Yeah,
that everybody is immigrant in this country for many
everybody.
many years.
There,
So
the
and
American
then
Indians and the African Americans are the only people that were not immigrants.
yeah, and then you see the last names: Europeans, Germany, French,
Right,
everybody from other countries, and
right.
they forgot.
They
Oh,
came here. They came
they are
here by
not going to
choice.
remove us
Yeah.
from this country. We are the only ones. Hello,
Well, we are a country of a lot of people, and I celebrate the diversity.
diversity.
It's good. It makes us stronger.
Yeah.
But people don't. Well, a lot of followers do not realize, I don't think, that he would crush them and eat them for breakfast if he had a chance, or if there was a way to make a dime. Donald Trump doesn't care about his followers one iota, but he does care about his grifting game and getting them to pour money into his coffers. That's all he's ever needed or wanted from them. You know, I don't believe he's a Democrat or a Republican. He just talks a bunch of stuff to get people to sway one way or the other in his direction so he can make some money.
Sosa. Bueno, pues estamos hablando, amigos, de cómo en el pasado pues, siempre se ha dicho que América era el país número uno, pues gracias a la cantidad de inmigrantes que habían venido a este país, que lo habían hecho el número uno. Y obviamente, pues todos somos inmigrantes acá. Y le decía yo que lo que pasa es que algunas personas se olvidan de la historia de los Estados Unidos y que todo el mundo vino de otros países. De hecho, una parte de los Estados Unidos era parte de México y ahora ya no lo es, ¿ah? Pero ellos se sienten desplazados cuando ellos también son inmigrantes, como todos los demás somos inmigrantes. Y lo que Michael está diciendo, bueno, a mí lo que me parece que es el único interés del expresidente Trump es el acumular dinero, es como si es su único objetivo. No le importa acerca de la gente absolutamente nada, sino nomás la usa para obtener el dinero que quiere. Y eso es muy triste y ojalá que algún día se den cuenta y se les prenda el foco de que todos somos inmigrantes. We are going to take the last break and we will be back. El abogado Ángelo Campano ya ha sido elegido